Freedom Gardening Seed Bank, July 5th. The babies are doing well. We have not had any water for about 10 days. No rain whatsoever. Not a cloud in sight. Today there's a couple clouds, but it doesn't look like it will rain. You can see here's a bean sprout, another bean sprout, a squash, 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 bean, couple more squash, couple more beans, and this is a corn. Those two. Over here, I wanted to show you this because this is amazing to me. Right here, we have sprouts that have sprouted overnight with zero rain. So that means the way this farm works, whoever put this together was brilliant, because underground here is a whole bunch of water that sits on top of oil and shales and natural gas and all the other good stuff. But anyway, underneath this farm is a giant underground swimming pool. So what happens is, this is all terracotta. It gets warm during the day. And during the day, those rocks down in the ground warm up, which in turn warms the water below, which makes it steam from below come out of the ground and water all the plants. So as you can see, without any water for 10 days, we have beautiful sprouts, beans, corn. It's all coming up. What I'm doing is I'm going from pile to pile, and I'm giving them all just plain water. I'm going to be brewing the compost tea. It takes about 24 to 48 hours to brew when you recirculate it and oxygenate it. And what that'll do was put the essence of McMinn's sheep farm into the water. The reason I'm watering them beforehand is I don't want them to be so thirsty that they suck up that compost tea too quick and possibly burn the plants, because these are delicate. Even though they're small, they've been surviving off of these. These are basically like an amniotic sac in a baby. These little pods on the side here is what has been feeding these for about a week. They have been surviving off of this little umbilical cord. They have not really gotten anything from underground yet, except for the steam from the underground aquifer. So again, what I've been doing is taking a hose. I've rigged up a 400-gallon water tank, and I've been going from pile to pile, giving them all a nice big drink of water. I'm putting about 1 gallon to 2 gallons of water on each pile. Take you over here and show you. You can see there's beans coming up everywhere. They grow really quick. Squash are doing great. They're starting to get their second leaves. See a little moth out pollinating. Again, there's sprouts everywhere. They're doing really good. So they're getting all the water they need from the air. At night, because everybody's cutting their hay fields, there's a lot of humidity. Again, with the underground aquifer, the water kind of boils up from below, and that's why the grass is growing so fast. They have not gotten any rain. There's no rain in the forecast. So I thought I'd give them a nice big drink of water. I'm going to continue to water all these piles with about 1 gallon. I've got 300 or 400 gallons, I'm not sure, of water only in this container. I hooked up a 2-inch NPT to the outspill, then an adapter to take it down to 3/4 with a boiler drain. Then I have it hooked up to just a regular garden hose. Using gravity, I am watering each one of the piles. Here we have a bunch of sheep manure from McMinn, the PA Century farm out towards Mount Morenci. I am filling this container with manure. I'll be using cheesecloth, several layers of it on the bottom as a coffee filter. I'll set this container up on top of here, and then I will hook a pump to this hose, which will pump clean water up into this container, where it will drain back into here. By brewing it for 48 hours, I'm aerating it, recirculating it, and it's oxygenating it, which is allowing all the little bugs that live in this manure to multiply and breed like crazy. And then what will happen is the essence of this pile will be in this tank without all of the fertilizers that will burn plants. So then again, we're doing a 1:5 ratio, 1 part compost tea to 5 parts water. 48 hours of brewing, and then I will be coming back here in 2 days when these, which will probably grow a good 2 or 3 inches just in the 2 days that I'll be brewing the teas. And then I'll come back here and I will start putting the compost tea, both foliar, which means sprayed directly on the leaves, and into the mulch pile, into the ground. They're all really happy. I am blown away that they're doing this well. Matter of fact, one of these piles over here, there is a giant mammoth sunflower that is sprouting. Here it is right here. You can see this seed was sitting right on top of the mulch pile. It did not get any water. It has been sitting in the sun for 7 days, somehow, without any moisture, just from the water below and the humidity in the air. It's popped, it's dug into the pile, and it's going to begin growing. It's doing great. This is one of the piles that hasn't been watered yet. You can see they're very dry. There's almost no moisture in here whatsoever. You get down here below, you can begin to see a little bit. Again, that's coming up from below. Everything's doing really, really good. There's a corn, a bunch of bean sprouts, and I'm really impressed with the way everything's coming together. So today we're just giving them a big drink of deep well water so that they don't drink too much of the compost tea and possibly burn themselves, because I know they're thirsty. There's no rain in the forecast, so what this is going to do is give them the boost that they need to dig as deep as they can so that when it does rain, they can take advantage of it. So again, this is July 5th, day after 4th of July. All the sprouts are doing really good. The corn's coming up. You can see it in here. Everything's doing really good. Just doing a little bit of hand watering on the piles because, again, I don't want to burn them with this manure. Now, if you put this manure directly raw on a plant, you'll cook it. It'll die. But if you use the tea concept with water, the essences, in other words, the enzymes, the hormones, all of the available fertilizers in that pile go into the water without the heavy nitrites, and all the other good stuff. So here we are, getting busy. It is a hot day today. Hope everybody had a good 4th of July. It's obvious that the babies did. And we'll see you in a couple days when this tea is brewed. And by the way, if you want some of this tea, I'll give you as much as you need. I'm going to continue to brew it for the next month. And this will protect your tomato plants. This will protect everything from pathogens. I don't want to get too complicated, but what happens is there are a couple of things that can attack these. There's powdery mildew, which grows on the outside of the leaf. There is other types of molds and stuff like that that are in the air. But when you create a symbiotic relationship with this plant and the beneficial bacteria that live in the compost pile, it forms a protective force field. The bugs won't eat it because they're getting fungus in their mouth. The fungus, the bad fungus, the molds, can't grow because the beneficial bacteria, that's what they eat it immediately and collapse them. It's amazing to watch under a microscope, but here we're seeing it live. So anyway, we'll see you soon.